Good morning. Thank you for having me over. Lucky to be here. My name is Vikaas Gutgutia. I'm 55 years old today, and it's been 30 years since I started Ferns N Petals in Delhi. And I think it was, I don't know how to start. Basically, I'm a Bihari. I was born and brought up in a place called Karmatar, then did my schooling and college in Kolkata, came to Delhi to kind of meet my girlfriend, who's my wife now, and ended up opening a floral outlet. I kind of went to Defense Colony Market and thought I'd send her some flowers because I had some idea about flowers because my uncle had flower shop in Kolkata, so I knew what flower is. So I sent some flowers to her on her birthday. And the flower was a disaster. And the disaster was the beginning of that idea, which is Ferns N Petals. And I thought that maybe, this is it. In this city, which is probably much bigger than Kolkata and has much more potential, and it doesn't have good flower shops the way we have in Kolkata. Most of the florists are working out of roadside, and it's time to take it to air-conditioned showrooms, and that's how the FNP was born. And it was a very tough journey. I mean, I just, out of my passion and out of my own, I had to do something. I thought maybe fly is something I know, and there's an opportunity, I should just go with it. But it didn't seem to be a good idea for 7 years. I went through all the possible tough situations in life in those 7 years. A lot of people told me, Vikas, give it up. I said no. I had a mentality of a jihadi, कि करना तो यही करना, otherwise मर जाना. So that kind of a determination was something which was fueling my hard work and everything. So I guess determination is very, very important. Self-belief is very, very important, and patience. You can't be getting and doing something it can't happen overnight. I mean, it takes time. Everything has its own sweet time which it takes. So after 7 years, I broke even, and one lesson in these 7 years was don't give up. One has to have a clear-cut destination in mind, and you have to keep walking irrespective of whatever comes your way. So that was something which was very, very important. And after 7 years, when I broke even and I did very good for the next 7 years, I thought I'd become God. I mean, whatever I'm doing is turning into gold. I started wedding business, I had a good office, I bought a house, I had a car, and I thought Vikaas Gutgutia is right. And FNP was known as a brand, and I was opening shops and everything. And those 7 years taught me two things. One, you need a godfather in life. You need one that led up somewhere, somehow in your life, which helps you climb. So whenever we do whatever, you definitely come across somebody or a situation or something in your life which becomes the turning point. And the turning point in my life was somebody who gave me floral contract for Taj Palace Hotel to do weddings, and from there on I never looked back. So I must thank that man who believed in me at that point of time. Now 2007, and I was a successful, happy businessman who thought that now Vikaas is God. And I thought, I have a magical idea, let me do another Ferns N Petals. Let's open one more business which kind of, so I have dono haath mein laddu, you have Ferns N Petals, you have this. So you become even richer and bigger. And I thought, let's do FNP, what we did to flowers, let's do that to chart. chaat is street food, and chaat has different flavors in different parts of the country. And Kolkata chaat is different than Mumbai chaat is different from Delhi chaat is different from Banaras chaat. So I said there are different flavors of chaat. If I can bring all those flavors together in some kind of air-conditioned, hygienic atmosphere, it might just work very well. And the way I did flowers for weddings, we can do chaat for weddings as well. So I thought it's a repetition of the same thing which I've done in the past. And I went all over it. I took a factory, I kind of set up the back-end kitchen, I started opening outlets, I did food trials, whatever I could do as a businessman, whatever I could think is right to do, kept on doing. And in 2 years' time, I realized that my focus has shifted from Ferns N Petals to Chatak Chaat. Ferns N Petals is having operational issues, and Chatak Chaat is making losses, which is hurting my finances now. And in 2010, in 3 years' time, I was in a debt trap. Whatever I earned in 7 years, I gave it all up. I took debts from bank, and one fine day I realized that at the end of the month, I was unable to pay EMIs, and the bank people were standing outside my house in a queue. The recovery agents. And my children asked me, Papa, who are they? Why have they come here? I said, nothing better, business ki baat. That was it. I said, look, I immediately went to office and let's start this business. I was down 30 crore in 2001. And I had nothing with me except the house I was living in. So, 7 years, and these 3 years, 17 years, I had gone through almost every possible struggle, emotion, difficulties, pleasure one could get in his life. And 2002, a new Vikaas was born. That was my second inning. And I must thank Chatak Chaat, that failure, for helping me reach here where I am today. I guess failures are... So those 17 years I take as education. All kind of education, from nursery school to university called struggle. I've been everywhere. So after 17 years, the new Vikaas who was born was very qualified, very intelligent. Now I understand. I looked back. I looked back to all the situations. I tried to, figure out that why this happened, why that happened. And the 3 lessons which came my way was, do what you are best at. Don't try and do everything. So your core competence is very important. Second thing I learned was, please select a driver or identify a driver before buying a car. So whenever you want to start a business, you must have the right driver in place. Third thing I learned was, I'm good at ideas. I'm good at risk taking, which is probably a prerequisite of a entrepreneurial journey. But I'm a very bad manager. I overdo things. So what I'm good at managing people. So I manage people, people manage business, I take risk, I believe in innovation, and I think these things put together in the right proportion, today I can proudly say that FNP is a 5,000 crore company in its 10 years. So I guess failure is probably something which is, we must all look for a failure if you want to do successful things in life. So failure is very, very important. It teaches you something which no Harvard, no business school can teach you practically. Secondly, when you have to be very flexible, you have to adapt very quickly. One cannot be stuck to a situation. One has to be very alert, aware, and ready to move immediately in the desired direction, so that you are quick, you do the things fast. So I'm very good at, if I find something, like I'll give you an example. I started a new startup called Last Journey, 3 years back during COVID, because I could see, that funeral and all that, rituals and all, considering the taboo it is, it was required that somebody addresses it in a proper way. So I started a company called Last Journey, which helps you have that last journey smoothly and nicely in the right way. While doing so, I realized that there is a very good scope of something called Medi-Journey. There's a lot of medical tourism happening. And all those people come from all over the place. They ultimately, when they die here, they have to be transported back and all that. So now Last Journey is given birth to Medi-Journey. Now Medi-Journey is medical tourism. So what I mean to say is, when you start walking a particular way, you keep looking, keep getting by-lanes and some other ideas and things. So one should be able to immediately grab those ideas, immediately, see how we can make most of it. Because every problem, every distress, every need is an opportunity, and that's business. So that's my journey. I think I've been able to put across my thoughts, and 2 things I want to tell you, which probably is my mantra in life. You can never be successful in a comfortable zone. Be prepared to be uncomfortable. If you want to do something out of the box, you have to make your own path. You cannot walk on a given road. Rule books don't apply for you. Your instinct applies for you. That's number 2. Number 3, never fall in love with money. The day you start hoarding money, it's mine, I want to save it, your downfall will start. Money makes money. Keep spending as much as you can. Number 4th and final, risk say isk. That's the fun. If we are able to, play these things nicely, and lastly, every individual is different. We try and look at the world, we judge them, we see, we get influenced, whatever. I think it's very, very important to judge yourself first. What you are good at, how you feel. You cannot, unless you know yourself very well, you cannot do very well. It's very important to know what chemical composition you have, what suits you, what's your... Like I said, I'm a very, very bad manager. I realize it. That if I start doing things on a day-to-day basis, I mess it up. I'm very good at managing people. So the moment you get these indications, adapt. Thank you all.